So, but before I get into what specifically the basic instructions are, I gotta talk about a part of you that we only explore in our private moments, especially at bedtime. It's a part of ourselves that most other people don't get to see. Now stay with me now, it's not what you think. So now, again, our entire world is in our mind. It's about what's happening in here is going to determine my experience with what's happening out there. And in order for me to really give you a full spectrum of what the basic instructions are, I need you to understand the concept of how the mind works to create a reality. Now, how many of us have heard the saying, we only use 10% of our minds? You ever heard that? It's bullshit. We use 100%. What it is that there's two layers to our thinking. There's the conscious mind and the unconscious mind, or subconscious mind labels. I tend to go back and forth, so please forgive me in advance if I do that. If I say subconscious, unconscious, it means the same thing. Now, I'm a big Game of Thrones fan. I'm like, if you want to go toe-to-toe on Game of Thrones trivia, be prepared to lose your money. So, but I like to use this illustration to show you how the mind works in two parts. So, we got Daenerys Stormborn here, Mother of Dragons, Break Your Chains, the Unburnt. She represents your conscious mind. She's in charge. She's the queen, right? That's your conscious mind. The conscious mind is in charge. But this huge beast that she's riding, this fire-breathing, mythical, powerful creature, is your unconscious mind. Now, the conscious mind, that's the part of ourselves that most of us call I, or me. It's your conscious thinking, your everyday waking state. When you're having this conversation in your head, you can go back and forth. You consciously hear what's going on. This is happening in the conscious mind. Now, the conscious mind, the part that we call I or me, is actually the exponentially less powerful part of ourselves. The much, much more powerful part of ourselves is that unconscious mind, and it has to be because it's got some very important functions. Think about this for a moment. The unconscious mind is in charge of the functions that you're not consciously aware of. Think about things like your heart beating, your blood circulating through your body, breathing as you sleep, digesting food, blinking your eyes. All of these things we can agree that we're all doing, but we're not consciously aware of or controlling. Am I right? This is a function of the unconscious mind. Now, because the unconscious mind has so much of the power in creating our reality, it's got a lot of jobs. I don't have enough time to get into all of them, but there is one particular one I want you to understand as we go into these basic instructions, and that is emotions are stored in the unconscious. The part of your mind you are not aware of. That's where all of that is in your unconscious mind. All of those past negative memories, all of the pain, all of the happiness, all of the emotions, memories are in the unconscious mind. Now, to explain how we store emotions in our unconscious mind, I want you to think of your unconscious mind like a long hallway. And on either side, you've got these different rooms, right? And over here on this room, it's labeled and it says happy. And over here on this room, it says grateful. And over here, it says excited. So every time I feel this emotion of happiness, from the first time you felt love and joy as a baby to that first sip of coffee this morning, both of those are happy memories, right? What did we do in the unconscious mind? Is we take those two memories, since it's the same emotion, and we put them in the happy room. Every time you feel grateful, every memory you have of when you felt grateful, from the time you got somebody held the door for you to when you got that Nintendo back in the 80s when nobody had it. Both of those are grateful memories. They go in the gratitude room. Every time I feel joy, it goes in the joyful room. And so, here's the thing. Emotions all behave the same. There's no such thing as a good or bad emotion. There's positive and negative emotions, but there's no good and bad. They all function the same. So, over here on this side of the hallway, I've got a room that says angry. And I've got a room that says fear. And I've got a room that says guilty. So every time I feel this emotion of anger, from the first time somebody took your toy away, to when they cut you off in traffic, go on your way to work. Both of those are angry memories, right? The mind, we take those, put them together, and we put them in the anger room. And every time we feel afraid, put them in the fear room. Every time we feel guilty, goes in the guilty room. And what happens over time is we collect all these memories because it's in the unconscious. The thing is, the unconscious is so powerful, it remembers everything, whether you consciously remember it or not. It's in there. And so, my happy room, I want so many memories in there. I want it to look like Michael Phelps' trophy room. That's what my happy room should look like. I want it to have so much stuff. I'm calling contractors to help me expand this room because I got more happiness to put in there. You can't have enough happiness. You can't have enough gratitude. You can't have enough joy. But what happens is, whichever one of these rooms has the most stuff in it, it creates what I call an emotional filter. Now everybody look at that window right there. When you look at the window, you can't see the glass. You're seeing through it. That's what emotional filters are. Remember, it's unconscious. And that filter is going to determine how you see the world. So, you can understand having a happy filter is awesome. Everything is giving me a reason to be happy. But what happens when your client's fear room looks like one of them A&E horror shows? With litter boxes and some 700-pound woman in the back room who can't get up. God forbid there's a fight. That's how some people's anger room looks. That's how some people's fear room looks, because they've had such a difficult past. At least that's their perception of it. And that becomes the filter through which they see their world. And that filter is the issue. I'm telling you, 99% of the people I've worked with, the filter is the issue. The filter is what creates the stories. I can't. I'm not good enough. I can't do it. That's the filter. What would happen if you believed that you could? Well, move the filter. Let's go. And that's what we're going to get more into today. Is talking about how do we get rid of that filter. And that's what basic instructions is all about. So, just making sure I'm staying on track here. You know, the biggest thing is understanding the way the unconscious mind works. That there's more going on in your mind, even as you're listening to me speak right now, than you're consciously aware of. At all times, there's more going on in this mind than you're consciously aware of in any given moment. One question I have, I just want you to think about for a moment, is how well do you know your unconscious mind? How well do you know all the things that it's doing? For you, it's your pet, it's your pet dragon, it loves you. It has your best interest in mind. But are you aware of what it's doing? That's where everything changes. That's where everything changes. So, the goal here is to get that conscious mind, the place where you decide what you want to be, do, and have, to work in conjunction and harmony with the unconscious mind, so that you feel congruent, so that everything feels right. And that's what basic instructions is all about.